You okay, sir? That's what she asked, just a gentle voice breaking through the hum of a tired morning. Her hand steady as she topped off my coffee like I was any other old-timer holding down a booth in that battered little diner off Highway 41. She couldn't have known what a loaded question that was. I didn't answer right away. Couldn't. Because as she leaned in, that silver dog tag slipped from behind her apron. It swung on a black cord just enough for me to catch the name, the date, and a blood type I'd seen not in any hospital, but back in a jungle halfway across the world, 54 years gone. You don't forget details like that, no matter how hard you try. This diner isn't some cozy throwback. It's the kind of place that survives more out of habit than hospitality. Cracked vinyl seats, floors, yellowed by the years, a jukebox that looks like it gave up on hope sometime around 2003. My name's Frank Mullally, 75 years old and stubborn as ever, I guess. Every Wednesday and Sunday since Margaret's funeral a decade back, I sit in that same window booth. I order my coffee, black scan the obits and sports scores, and keep my talking to a minimum. Folks come and go. Cooks change. Even the coffee changes, mostly for the worse. Usually lukewarm, always bitter, but I don't complain. You get used to things not being what they were. That morning, the day this all starts, she's new. Couldn't have been more than 23, brown hair and a ponytail, nervous but trying hard. She did her job, quick and quiet, moving like someone who'd rather disappear than draw a manager's eye. The first time she poured my coffee, I hardly noticed her. The second time, though, I saw that flash of metal on her chest dog tag just peeking out. Set my heart doing things it hasn't done in years. For a second, I was back there again. I told myself it was nothing. Coincidence. Got back to the paper and tried not to think about it. But you know how it goes. The past doesn't just tap you on the shoulder. It grabs hold and doesn't let go. When she circled back around, I finally looked up. "What's your name, miss?" I asked. "Jenna," she said, smiling in a way that looked honest, not practiced. I nodded at the tag. "That yours?" She shook her head. "No, sir. Family thing. My uncle wore it. I never met him. My mom gave it to me." I nodded again like that made sense, but my mind was miles away, years away. The rest of breakfast, my hands shook so bad I nearly tore the paper in half. When I got home, I went straight to the hall closet and pulled down the old shoebox Margaret never liked seeing. Inside, photographs of 6 boys dressed for war, all trying to look braver than they felt. Medals. I never displayed a folded flag from Margaret's service, and a tag almost exactly like the one Jenna wore. Private First Class Liam Calder. O positive 1969. I held it for a long time. It's heavy, some memories always are. Liam was just a kid when I met him. 19, barely out of basic, couldn't grow a real mustache if his life depended on it. Drew silly cartoons on scrap paper, talked about opening a pancake place when he got home. He never made it to 20. I was 21, and somehow that made me the big brother of our little recon team. We were outside Da Nang when it happened. Ambush, mortars, machine guns, chaos. Liam caught shrapnel, bad torso, stomach everywhere. I dragged him behind a tree, did what I could, kept yelling for a medevac. Bullets flying, air thick with jungle heat and the smell of metal and blood. Liam just kept whispering, "Tell my sister. Tell her I wasn't scared." Over and over. He died before help got there. I wrote his family after. Tried to put into words who he was, his jokes, his courage, how he made us laugh, even when we all wanted to run. That letter came back weeks later, stamped address unknown. Never knew if they got another word about him. That night, sleep was out of the question. I heard those birds, the gunfire, the breathing, that ragged, awful breathing like I was there again. Let me tell you, some ghosts don't haunt, they just wait. And when the moment's right, they remind you of all the promises you failed to keep. Next day, I made myself go back to the diner. Jenna was there moving just as careful as before, but this time I stopped her as she poured. "May I see that tag?" She hesitated but handed it over. Liam Calder. Oh, positive. 1969. My throat closed up. "You said your uncle." She nodded, eyes wide. "Mom's brother. Killed in Vietnam. She won't talk about it. I wish she would." I put the tag back and said, voice barely working, "He was with me when he died." That stopped her cold. She sat down, just like that, didn't care about customers or tips or the boss yelling from the kitchen. "What was he like?" she asked. Was he scared?" I shook my head. "Not of dying. Not at the end. He was in pain, but all he talked about was home." "Pancakes. He wanted me to tell your mom he wasn't scared." Jenna squeezed my hand. "She needs to know that. I promised her I'd find a way to tell her. Maybe the universe was finally giving me the chance to do right by an old promise." Jenna didn't show up at work for a week after that. I figured maybe I'd spooked her, or maybe life just moved on for her in a way it never does for old men. Then the following Sunday, she walks in not in uniform, but with a woman about her mother's age. The woman was tall, steely gray hair, and eyes that looked like they hadn't wept in decades, even if they wanted to. Jenna handed me a manila envelope. She wants to hear everything, but she wants to see something first. I opened the envelope and nearly dropped it. Inside my letter, the one I'd sent in '69, never opened, covered in stamps and stickers from the post office, all the ways they'd tried to deliver it. "I kept the original," I whispered. "Hoped someday it would reach the right hands." Jenna's mother finally spoke, her voice, the sound of 50 years of hurt, low and measured. "Was he suffering?" I couldn't lie. "He hurt, but he wasn't scared. He wanted you to know he was proud. Proud to serve. Proud to be your brother." She nodded, tears finally coming. "Did he really talk about pancakes?" she asked. I laughed, couldn't help it. He wouldn't shut up about them. Said he'd open a restaurant and name every item after Beatles songs. The best breakfast in town, he promised. She cried, then really cried. Jenna hugged her, and the three of us sat in that sticky booth, letting the years peel away. When it was time to go, I handed Jenna something I'd carried for more than half a century, Liam's dog tag, the matching one. She held it like it was treasure, and her mother, she hugged me so tight I thought she might break. "Thank you for remembering," she said, "for not letting him disappear." I said, "Some people, you just don't forget. He was the best of us. His sacrifice matters." Jenna's mom asked, would you come to his grave? Share your stories." I said yes before she could finish. It was the least I could do. She read the letter aloud right there in the diner, voice trembling but clear. She wanted to hear it from my own lips after all these years. For the first time since '69, Liam Calder's family knew how he lived and how he died, and that someone somewhere had kept his memory alive all these years. After that, the diner changed for me. It wasn't just routine, wasn't just bad coffee. Jenna refilled my cup before I even needed to ask. She wore both tags, now Liam's, and a new one she'd had made for herself, carrying on the legacy. Folks in the diner started nodding at me, little gestures of respect. One day someone left a note at my booth. "You brought someone home after 50 years. Thank you." The owner put up a photo behind the register, a faded shot of two kids in jungle fatigues, arms around each other, grins wider than Texas. Under it, a brass plate, "Never forgotten. Family legacy continues." Jenna's mom planned a memorial for Liam at the cemetery, planting a tree in his honor. She invited me, said it would mean a lot. When the day came, I stood with them watching Jenna place both tags under the sapling. I gave a formal salute. Old habits die hard, and read that letter finally out loud to the people who needed to hear it most. Her words stuck with me, through friendship and memory. Liam's dreams keep feeding people just in ways he never expected. As we walked back to our cars, Jenna squeezed my hand. "You carried him for all these years. Now we'll carry him forward." I realize then some names get lost in the noise of war. Others stay alive through the stubborn, quiet acts of people who refuse to forget. It's memory that heals wounds time can't touch, pulling generations together. So let me ask you, what would you have done? Would you carry someone's memory half a lifetime, even if the world forgot? Tell me below, does honoring the past still matter, or do we just let it fade? That's a debate worth having, and I want to hear your story too.
Xin chào các bạn, mình là Trinh, mình phụ trách viết content. Trên đây là những công việc của mình là mình lên mạng xã hội tìm hiểu những video.
Hey, if you guys have any trouble, let somebody know, please.
After the tree to hold on to. Yeah.
Yeah,
The fence.